All right, and here's the latest question via voicemail. If you have a question for Officer Izzo, you can ask Officer Izzo at 708-982-0974, or you can go ahead and send a voicemail. You could text. You can also send an email to officerdominicizzo at gmail.com. But let's take a listen to this together.
Mr. Izzo, I'm just calling in to leave you a voicemail regarding the one of the videos you featured on your most recent live stream on November 14th, which is today. Or I guess on the 13th you went live. I'm from Jupiter, Florida, where that kid got his little noggin smashed into the back of the trunk. And I see your comparison. Obviously, the obvious part you're leaving out is the people have a problem with the frail old man getting a brain bleed or whatever the hell happened to him, getting slammed to the ground. And I mean, I don't have a problem with what that kid got. He's being a little punk ass kid. And you know, I was 17 once, 28 now. I went through my phase where I hated cops. Did I ever get in their face? Frankly, if someone got in my face like that, they would have pepper spray in their eyes. So I don't know. I'm surprised that this was your analysis of the situation. I think I've dealt with the Jupiter police multiple times. I live here. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. As a matter of fact, the cop that slammed that kid, I have run into him in a restaurant, you know, just getting food. He was just picking up food. And we were like, you know, we were shooting the shit. He's a cool guy. So, I mean, frankly, I'm surprised by your reaction. The obvious reason is because no one wants to see a frail old man that could easily die from getting smacked down, get hurt like that, and the kid just being a little faggot. So, I mean, that's pretty clear to me. I don't know. I'm very surprised by your analysis. But other than that, yeah, I just want to give you my opinion.
No, I appreciate that. You're surprised because you're still at an age of 28, right? And I'm 21 years older than you. Here's the deal. And there was a time when I felt too like, yeah, that kid deserved it. But this is what you have to remember. It's not the job of the police to punish people. That's what you want. That's what you and what most Americans who are ignorant to what their law enforcement is supposed to do, that's what they want. And it's not your fault. It's definitely because we don't teach in law enforcement or in school what law enforcement's job is. And we sure as shit do not educate our cops most of the time and say, hey, just remember, it's not your job to punish. It's the court's job and corrections job to uphold that punishment. You simply want this little punk faggot, as you said, punished. That's what you want. You don't want a frail old man punished. Why? When you take your attitude, and this is something that I want to impress upon you, when you take your viewpoint, your attitude, now all of a sudden, why don't we just give officer discretion to who the fuck they can punish when they want to, how they want to? Why not? Why? So I get a barking dog complaint. You're a cop and I'm a cop and there's a barking dog complaint and you've got a little bit more patience and tolerance than me, but that dog's been yapping for hours and hours and hours. You go up, you knock on the door for the 100th time for the owner. Can you let your dog in today? Otherwise we're going to cite you, this and that. I walk up instead and I put 3 fucking bullets in that dog and I silence that thing. Because the entire block's got to go to work that morning. And that little yapping dog out in the backyard, it should have been shut the fuck up so people who want to earn an honest day's living and contribute to society, they can go to work. Why is it that you want somebody punished how you want, when you want it, and the police are the weapon to do that? That's why you're surprised by my reaction, because my reaction is constitutional. It's due process. It's the concept that the job of the police is to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. It's not to be the thug arm of the politicians or the government, but that's what people want it to be. Once again, because how you disagree from my view is, I'm an older guy. 49, you're 28. We got a couple decades of difference. And when I was 28, I felt the exact same thing. Now I look at it and go, shit, man, you have to exercise patience and caution and exercise common sense. And just because that guy, this 20-year-old, mouthed off to the police, it doesn't justify or warrant use of force. There's mouthing off, an attitude problem, which is what you want corrected, but there's nowhere in the Constitution that says you can't do that. It's called free speech. The only thing that I thought that he could use of force is he stepped to the cop. You can articulate it, but the entire time that cop was smiling, which meant that cop was not threatened for his safety, and I've talked about this on many videos breaking this particular incident down. Bottom line is, you and 99% of other people out there who watch police use of force videos, you just want somebody fucking punished. That's it. You're pissed off because they can get away with something you can't. And my God, this frail old man. Well, fuck that old man too, because he shouldn't have done that to the police as well either. But again, I talked about this in the last video. The use of force was warranted. I don't think it was justified as far as morals go and ethics go and the cops' patients go. So that's my viewpoint on that. We have a disagreement position because you believe that the police's job is to punish. My viewpoint from experience and actually knowing what it is they're there to document behavior, bring them to the courts. The courts does the punishment, and that's the end of story. When it comes to use of force, it's very dynamic, it's fast, it's evolving, it's rapid, but it's not based on somebody's attitude or words. It is based off of their actions and behavior, if that makes sense. And it should make sense. And if it doesn't, watch the rest of my content on this channel, and you will wind up seeing what it is. Guys, don't forget, we go live every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you have any type of questions, comments, suggestions, go ahead and see the screen, the number there, 708-982-0974. Leave me a voice note. Leave me a voicemail. You can go ahead and send an email to officerdominicizzo@gmail.com. And again, I guess the fastest thing in the world is, I honestly hope, and it is what it is. I hope that somebody you love in your family, like that old man, runs into a cop with a shit-ass attitude and then drops them on the ground, pile drives them, they get a brain bleed, and then maybe you go, well, they didn't deserve it. Well, maybe to somebody else they did. And once you give that power to the citizens, then you have an issue. So start holding your cops accountable to higher standard, and maybe you guys start getting more involved with your city hall and how department policy and laws are made. All right, see you guys in the next video. You got a question, just ask me.